Well, good afternoon, everybody. Here we go again. So it's I was kidding around in one of the other meetings I had in there with the media that you're flying back from your bowl game and you think you got 7, 8 months, which you do until you go again, but. Bam, we're here. It just seemed like it flew by, and but fortunately, I'm still here. So I think if I can still be here every year, that's good. We're working hard. We're we could talk about Mizzou Made, which is a huge part of our program, and I'm a process guy. I learned that from Don James, and what we try to do is develop our students and the young men, be the best football players they can be, and also graduate. And so those are 3 things we do. We have a detailed plan for that. We demand great work ethic, but there's a system in place that we use, and that's we're trying to keep becoming better and better, like all the teams in this league.
We'll start with our questions back of the room on the left.
Hey, Coach. Talk about how, because domestic violence has been hitting college sports and really all sports, professional and college. Talk about how you guys try to make sure that doesn't happen, and what steps and different programs you do to take that out of your program.
Well, first of all, we've been touched by it like some other people, so we've been a part of this. I think a lot of positive things have happened, in terms of what's happened not only in college sports, but in the NFL, and all these negative things have happened. I think in a lot of ways have turned into positives. One thing that we do is education, and we call Men for Men that we do, and it talks about communicate, being respectful to women. That's one of our core values, and I think. It's important to note that we all have responsibilities, and that it's critically important that our players understand that the things that they can and can't do, and have to be very, very responsible for it. I look at our football program, and those are that we have open conversation about these responsibilities, and I think it's been very, very good at a national level. I know Title IX now there's been more of a process that you go through on our campus, that anything you hear, you see, you own it. You hear it, you see it, you own it. Anything. And that's what we've done on our campus. And you take it to a Title IX coordinator on our campus, and unlike the police or anybody else that has to do things the way they do it, Title IX can jump on it right away and try to make sure that the right thing happens to help that particular person. And so there's been a lot of ugly things that have happened, but I think we've learned a lot, and I think it's going to help out in a real positive way to make sure that women are treated respectfully in the right way.
We'll go to the right side, back of the room. Go ahead.
Since the SEC expanded the first wave a generation ago in '92, Missouri football has had more early success among all the teams that have entered the SEC since that time. To any degree, has Missouri's early success in the SEC surprised you? And do you suspect that Missouri football is farther along than it might be if it had not joined the SEC?
I think the SEC has helped us. There's no question about it. Just the name, being the brand name of being the SEC. And be very honest with you, first year we struggled with the injuries, and if I'd have done a better job coaching, we'd have won one more game and gone to a bowl. But the SEC has been a tremendous asset to us, and there's no question about the respect that it has nationally. I think recruiting-wise, and I also think in terms of winning and a little bit of prestige that goes along with that. At this league. Did I anticipate it? I think I want to win every game we play. That's what we do. And we want to win a national championship, and we want to win our divisional championship, obviously, and the league championship, and win a bowl game. That's kind of our goals from a football perspective. And we just work very hard at the process of being good. I tell our players, and our players understand it. It's about working the right way, and have these tremendous work ethic as a football team to get better, and player by player. And you're good in September for what you did when you reported January 21st and what you did on March 3rd and March 4th. We have countdown days in our locker room when they get back in January from our bowl game, and it's so that we don't waste a day. And that's what that's about. It looks cute up there. We have 232 days till our opening game. It's so that we don't waste a day, and that's what we do, and that's what we'll continue to do. And the league itself is a great league. It's remarkably competitive. I love it, but you better strap it on, because how many, you talk about winning in the fourth quarter, and in this league it's like the NFL. There's so many games go back down to the fourth quarter. I just feel honored to be, and last year had nothing to do with this year. So here we go.
Staying on the right side, we'll move up to the second row.
Hey, Gary, when it comes to Harold Brantley, football secondary, obviously, and I know you're thrilled and happy that he's okay first, but from a football standpoint, just got out there that I guess he's out for the season. Can you take us through, from a football standpoint, how much that impacts your defense?
Well, it's an impact, but it's also happened in July, and so you move on. It's what you have to do. The good news is he's going to be fine. It's been frustrating disappointing for him, because he had one of the best springs of any defensive lineman we've had, and we've been fortunate to have a lot of great ones, and so it's been difficult for him too. He's one of the best players in this league, and one of the best. That means he makes you one of the best players in the nation, and so we're trying to help him too. So he's gonna have his days, his tough days, and we're gonna be there to reach down and put our arm around and help him, because he's part of our family. The good news is he can accomplish all his goals, he can graduate, and he can certainly help lead the football team this year, and that's kind of the approach we're going to take. And you got to move them over, move them up, and it requires younger players to play and an opportunity for some other players.
Coach, back over to our left on the front row here.
Coach, two-parter on the offense, just trying to bring along those wide receivers, get them some experience going into this season, but also, too, the importance of Russell Hansbrough to your offense.
Yeah, Russell, had a really heck of a year last year. Ish Witter's a freshman we played a year ago. He did some good things. Morgan Stewart's a player that was one of the high-level players we've ever had, running back, and he had a hip injury, and he's slowly getting back, and I think we've got a chance to get him back now. And if you'd asked me 3 months ago, he wouldn't have had a chance at all. But Russell, being able to run the football at a high level, obviously, is going to make you much better, and it takes pressure off the other areas. We're going to be young at the receiver core, but that's, I've seen receivers groups, young receiver groups excel and do a phenomenal job. Pat Washington's our receiver coach. He's coached 15 years in the SEC, 15, 16 years. He was at Tennessee for many, many years, and so he's got a great coach working with those guys. And the other thing too is we have Sean Culkin, Jason Reese are two of our tight ends, and so a couple years ago we had a guy named Kaufman and Rucker. They both played about 6-8 years in the NFL, and we played two tight ends, two wide receivers. So we got to see how the whole thing unfolds in the middle of August, and we're going to play with our best players the majority of the time, and that creates a lot of competition. So there's a lot of ways to work through those things, and that's one of the things we're going to have to do.
Left side here, toward the back. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, again.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your quarterback. He's 14-4 as a starter, but in those 4 losses, his QBR was 27. How can he get better at playing in the biggest games of his career, or the season of that day, I guess? Yeah, well,
he's played some. Honestly, when he's in the crunch time, he's at his best. I mean, he's delivered since he's been a player for us. We just need more consistency at the position. We need more consistency at offense, and I think it starts with him. And I think his experience level. You learn, you mature, you grow. The defense slows down. You see more. I think the other components are obviously protection, your running game, which we talked about a moment ago, and also your receiving core. So it's just not him, but certainly his consistency, him being more consistent, will help all the people around him play better, and that's what we're going to try to get done.
Right side in the back, and this will be our final question for Coach Pinkel. Go ahead.
Coach, you've been doing this for quite some time. What's it like when you have a coach join your staff and then get that opportunity to go lead his own program, and at the same time go through the challenge of replacing that coach and what he meant to your staff?
We talk about Dave Steckel, defensive coordinator. We were one of the top defenses in the league a year ago. I love the guy. He's Missouri State, and he wanted a shot, you know, and he was wondering if he's ever going to get a shot to be head football coach. And he's a great man. He's a great coach. He's a great competitor. You know, he will do a phenomenal job.
Thank you, Coach.